What up, though? YouTube, it's your boy T Electric, man. I want to holler at y'all about the violence that's, in the hood, man. When I was a kid growing up, man, in the west side of Detroit, the street that I remember the most was a street called Freeland, right off of Finkel. It was between shit. I don't forget. It's been so many years ago, but we was right off of was it Midland? It was between Finkel and Midland and shit, man. And I was a kid, and when you a kid, man, you don't really realize how dire a situation is until you grown, man. Like, now that I look back on that shit, man, I was around violence and murder like almost every other day, looking back on it. And I want to just, give a shout out of love to the Second Amendment community, man. I appreciate my brothers and sisters. We got our guns and we're able to, protect our families in case that shit invade our, personal space. Like nigga trying to come up in your house or something like that, or nigga trying to, rob you on some shady shit, man. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. I couldn't have been no more than about maybe I was young when I very first time I seen a dead body. It had to be like back in 80, 84, 85, something like that. The very first time I seen a dead body, my brothers had came in the house and was like, man, they found somebody dead in the alley, two blocks over in the alley. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? I saw all of the police, I saw the meat wagon and shit. And actually the meat wagon hadn't even got there yet. The police hadn't even got there yet. This shit had literally just had happened. So of course I want to, follow behind my older brothers and go see what the fuck was going on. And this is the first time, I seen a dead body, because I didn't even go to bother to tell my parents. They probably would have stopped me from going. I was chilling on the porch and my brother was like, yo. So I'm like, fuck this, let me go see. So, we turned down and walked through the alley, and I'm pretty sure the police was on their way and shit. But this dude, I'll never forget this as long as I live, man. I still remember it like yesterday. I still remember the clothes that the dude had on. He had on some jeans, some black dress shoes, a black like shirt, like t-shirt, and he had a fucking ski mask on. And he was just stretched out. Come to find out, he tried to rob a dice game. They was in their garage gambling. This fool tried to go up in there and rob him, and somebody in there that was gambling had a gun and shot him all up in the face, man. Because from the looks of it, he wasn't shot in the body. He was shot all in the face. I didn't stick around though, man. I'm pretty sure when the police got there and the meat wagon got there and shit, they pulled that mask off, but he was shot in the head. And I'll never forget it because it's like he had on brand new motherfucking shoes and shit, man. It was some type of shoes. I forget the name of them, but they was the style back then and shit. That was the first time I had ever seen a dead body. That was the first time, man. And they had to be at least about 84, 85. Then, later that same summer, later on that summer, it was this nice guy we knew, he was friendly. My parents knew him. He lived at the corner house, down the street at the corner. His name was Shorty. He was a little short guy. Friendly as hell. I remember one time I was walking home from school, and man, they had the whole street taped off, man. Police cars everywhere. Meat wagon pulling up. He got murdered by his own daughter, dope fiend daughter, and her and two of her male friends. They murdered that guy. They didn't just murder him, they butchered him. I remember seeing them carry his fucking head out in a blue bag. They chopped his head off. That was so fucked up. That was fucked up. They chopped his fucking head off, man. I remember going to the funeral. They had his funerals at Cole Funeral Home, right there on Puritan and Schaefer. And I couldn't even walk up close to his body, man. You could see where they stitched his head back on. And you could see all of the cut marks on his fingers from the defensive where he was trying to, block off those blows. They basically stabbed him to death, and they chopped his head off. He had a fucking dope fiend daughter that he used to be on her ass, like get off the drugs, and her and two niggas went up in there and killed him, man. So that was the second murder. Then I'm trying to think of some more. Bobby Bogart. Bobby Bogart stayed 2 houses down from my house. He was cool than a motherfucker, man. It was him and his girlfriend. Bobby Bogart sold drugs out of his house. It was a dope spot. He was cool than a motherfucker. I mean, we minded our own business and shit, but we didn't know at the time that he was dealing, like, he wasn't selling drugs per se like a regular spot. He was more like, I think, holding the drugs for somebody else. Anyway, to make a long story short, somebody went up in there, robbed him, made him and his girlfriend go downstairs in the basement, tied them up to the poles. Everybody got poles in their basement. Put garbage bags over their head and shot them. They tortured them and shot them, man. That life, man, it ain't no kind of way to live, man. All right. The fourth murder was one of my brother's best friend daughters. She was dating a drug dealer. And, I don't know whether she was dating him, she was just hanging around with him. Somebody was at the helm. They shot the car up, blew her brains out. He lived. Another murder that happened one day, once again, I was walking home from school. This was the next street over, Artmore, off of Midland. Either it was Keeler, either Midland. A dude that we all knew. I forget his name, man. But I think his name was Tap. His father's name might have been Tap. But anywhere it go, I was coming home from school. Once again, they had the streets blocked off, roped off. And come to find, Junior was the nigga name. Junior had took a shotgun, blew his own father's head off. Because they claimed, Junior claimed that the father was abusive to his mother and abusive to them, like beat on his mom and all that and shit. So he had got a shotgun and caught his father asleep on the living room couch and blew his brains out, man. I saw the police once again with that blue bag, a light blue turquoise looking bag with his brains all in it, taking it and putting it in the meat wagon, man. That shit was so fucked up. And another part that was fucked up, my brother and them, they saw him running with the fucking shotgun. They didn't know what he had did, but they saw him running with the shotgun. He had hid the fucking shotgun in the garage of Shorty's house. In the backyard in Shorty's house. He hid the fucking shotgun in the garage. They stayed the next block over, but he ran and the police found the shotgun in the garage of Shorty's house. That, you know, Shorty had got killed by his daughter. They found the shotgun in the garage because, you know, their house was vacant. Didn't nobody, you know, want to live in that house after somebody got brutally, you know, killed in that bitch. So that was another murder. Another murder was some dude. I guess he might have been a drug dealer or whatever. This happened right by the Coney Island that was in the Coney Island edition of the gun porn. This dude was walking down the street, walking down Finkel, and he had one of them big ass like dookie ropes on. Back then they had them big chains that was very, very popular, especially amongst the drug dealers. They was called dookie ropes. A car rolled up on him. A nigga jumped out, walked up to him, blew his fucking brains out, ran and cut through that Coney Island parking lot and jumped back in the car, and they took off. You can see his body laying out there. And some motherfucker took the fucking chain off his neck while he was still like, he died. He was just as good as dead, but some motherfucker took the chain off his neck and ran. So, man, I don't lived and saw some shit, you hear me? While I was young, a teenager. Another killing was at Tookie's house, right around the corner on let's see, you had Mark Twain, you had Mark Twain, then you had Freeland, then you had Artmore. He was on the corner house right there on Mark Twain. Tookie used to like gamble in his house all the time. And then you had this nigga named Man that used to be up in there gambling with him, and every time Man would lose his money, he would get mad and come with a shotgun and shoot the house up. He had shot that house up at least twice before, because he'd get into it with somebody and just shoot Tookie's house up because he lost his money. Well, that final third time he did that shit, he got into it with a dude. I guess he accused the dude of cheating or something. So he went home and got his shotgun and came back and shot that motherfucker up. But this time he killed somebody. The dude he got into it with didn't duck in time and took a blast from the shotgun and killed him. And that shit had to be back in what, 90, 91, 92. Man's still in prison. He got life without parole. You know, they call his ass, he got life without fucking parole, man. My brothers knew him. He's one of them little niggas that tried to go for bad. I remember one of my brothers got into it with him. And he had put the shotgun on my brother. And my brother was out there like, shoot me, motherfucker, shoot me. And I'm like, is you stupid? He like followed him. He like, shoot me then, bitch, shoot me. And Man took the shotgun and shot it up in the air. We didn't know he was actually a real motherfucking killer until he killed that motherfucker. I think that he didn't intend on killing him because he had shot that house up twice before and nobody got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he thought he was gonna shoot it up again. Somebody didn't duck in time and he ended up killing him. And then the last killing that I remember, I actually heard the gunshots on this one. This one had to be shit. It was in 89. Yep, it was in 1989, June 89. That was like the last one, you know, before. No, I think the Tookie situation with the Tookie getting shot, Tookie house getting shot up was after that, because that was like in 92. And we moved in 93 to a better neighborhood. But back in '89, it was June '89. It was like 12 o'clock, 11. It was either, I think it was like 11 o'clock. Anywhere it go, I remember I was up. I was supposed to have been asleep, getting my ass ready for school, but I remember I couldn't sleep for whatever reason that night. And I was watching Arsenio Hall, and I remember I was laying down, and I heard 3 shots, and I'll never forget this shit. It went. This is how they went. Pow, 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 just like that. I didn't think nothing of it, cause in the hood, man, you hear you hear gunshots so much, you don't even get alarmed unless the shit is right by you and the bullets whizzing over your head. You know what I'm saying? That's just some nigga shooting. I didn't know. I'm like, them shots sound mighty close, like it's coming from across the street. Well, the very next day, some kids I knew, they was playing basketball in their backyard, and this was over across the street in their backyard. And the ball went into the alley. When they went in the alley to get the ball, they saw the body, and I saw her. It was a lady with a blue dress on, and she still had the gun in her hand. And she I'll never forget it. She was laid out just like that, man. She had a blue dress on, and I saw it before the police came and everything. They eventually came and roped it off. And unlike all of the other killings, this killing made headlines because of who did the killing. It come to find out it was a 12-year-old boy shot the lady and killed her. He tricked her, he lured her in the alley, and he pulled the gun, and when she saw that he had pulled the gun, she pulled her gun, but he got her first. And all I remember that it was earlier that night, that previous night, I heard the gunshot. It was like boom, 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 just like that. And I don't know whether she managed to get a shot off or not, but he killed her. And why it made the news and stuff and national headlines is because he was only 12 years old. And the reason why he didn't like this lady was because she was she was a bad influence on his mother. She had his mother doing drugs, tricking, and turning her out because she was a lesbian. She was a lesbian. So he didn't like the idea that, she was a bad influence on his mom. So he made it up in his mind he was gonna kill her because they was going together. They was having sex. I mean, the lady was having sex with his mother and had her on all these drugs. So they was doing drugs together, man. So, they put him in juvenile till he was 20. And I think he out. I don't think he had to do no jail time. But just seeing shit, man, all that violence and shit, it's just... It's fucked up, and what's even more fucked up, shit is even more crazier than nowadays. Shit is even more violent and crazier than back in the 80s and early 90s, man. I've seen some shit, man, and I vowed, not to be a fucking victim and shit. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying to you guys, man, you just gotta stay ready, man, and stay armed, man, and thank God that you got the freedom to be able to bear arms and protect yourself, protect you and your loved ones. You gotta do that no matter what, man. I get contacted by so many people that say, you know, T, I appreciate you listening to you and watching your videos, man. It made me go out and buy a gun and stuff, you know, and, you know, to protect my family, man. And that, you know, that means the world to me. It really do. It means the world to me. It really do. You know, somebody hit me up, you know, they got a fucking bow and arrow, you know, they use to protect. And he said he's sufficient with it. I said, you know what, it don't, I mean, I prefer you have a gun, but you got to do whatever that works for you, brother. He must be an expert on that motherfucker, because if you miss shit, especially if the other person got a gun, it ain't gonna end good. You know what I'm saying? But I wish you the best. You know. But I'm tipsy right now. I'm sipping. You know. I love y'all, man. I really do. I appreciate y'all, man. And you know, y'all leave a comment. You know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all. You know, y'all be safe out there, man. Have your guns ready at all times, and just be ready if somebody come up in your crib. You know what I'm saying? Set up a contingency plan. Somebody break up in your house. You know what I'm saying? You know, have a panic room. You know, when you out and about, you know, just be alert of your surroundings at all times. You know, I had that incident, you know, the other day where the guy walked up on me in my car. I mean, he didn't walk directly up on me, but he wouldn't leave me alone about asking me for a ride, saying he just got robbed, and you know, he didn't have no shoes on, only socks, and he was reaching in his pockets. See, they got me for everything. But when I offered to call the police, he just shushed it. You know, he didn't want to, you know, I don't know what his deal was. But like 5-6 times he kept on begging me for me to give him a ride when to get in my car. And I had to rack my shit back. And once he heard that shit, he fell back. Now, I feel bad if he really was a victim, but the way I feel, like, if he was really a victim, he should have wanted me to call the police. Unless he had warrants on him. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but man, we living in a concrete jungle. It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here, man, you know? It really is. But y'all keep on doing y'all thing and staying safe, man. That's the most important thing, man. The ability to at least be able to fight off somebody if somebody, you know, try to run up in your house. I be telling y'all about that Citizen app too. I highly suggest, you know, that y'all download it. A lot of people do it. They don't like it because they want to know your location, but to me, that's a good thing, because if it know your location, it can alert you of what's going on in your area. Like where I'm at right now, 4 blocks over. 4 blocks over. Somebody got killed like 3 nights ago. And I think I heard the shots. Then, just about 3 nights ago, it was a report that it was 10 niggas with guns breaking in somebody's house doing a home invasion. 10 of them motherfuckers with guns. Now you tell me if that ain't the perfect reason to own an AR-15. Tell me that ain't the perfect reason to own an AR-15. Having a pistol is cool, because you can still fight back. But when you got more than 3, you know, opponents, intruders, man, I read that thing. I wish I could pull it up and show you, but I'm using my phone that got the app on it. But I wish I could show you. You wouldn't believe it until you see it. They said it was 10 motherfuckers doing a home invasion on somebody's house, man. No, how can you possibly fight 10 motherfuckers that's armed with guns? You would have to have an AR or something like this that hold 30 rounds. And usually what happens is, once when they see the first motherfucker get shot, the rest of them motherfuckers gonna run. But, you know, if you only got a pistol, maybe they might be brazen enough to try to fight it out with you or something. But if you got some shit like this, some loud shit like this, or an AK, or an AR-15, they might just decide to turn their funky asses around and get the fuck on and run. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, it's this video been going on for over 25 minutes. I appreciate, love every single one of y'all. I'm tipsy like a motherfucker. And, I mean, I ain't drunk, but I'm tipsy. You know, I ain't gonna talk about my personal life. You know, sometimes when you're in a relationship, you can hit a rough patch and you at the crossroads where you don't know whether that shit gonna work, or, you know, to just, you know, let it be and just part ways and separate and just be single. You know what I'm saying? So when you in that situation, I've been down this road a lot of times, you know, and you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But anyway, I salute every single one of y'all. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, y'all.